to the dead. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. We'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we call Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the den. It's Saturday in Congo Lane, we've all come down to cheer. We've had our jelly deals and our glass of beer. Come rain or shine all the time, our families will bring. And as the Lions run off the pitch, everyone will sing. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the den. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. We'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the den. It's Saturday in Congo Lane, we've all come down to cheer. We've had our jelly deals and our glass of beer. Come rain or shine all the time, our families will bring. And as the Lions run on the pitch, everyone will sing. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the den. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. We'll only have to beat 'em again. It's the best team in London. Team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Let 'em come, let 'em come, let 'em come. Let 'em all come down to the den. Let 'em all come down to the den.
Good evening. I was watching the music and I was thinking, go on, get to 100 before the music ends, and that's exactly what happened. It went to 102 just as the music stopped.
Smashed it.
Good by Kelly tonight. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. How are you?
Your last video, was there a gym behind you in the last video that you did?
Yeah, I've got a gym built up the end of the garden, haven't I?
Yeah. You know, he's been on the treadmills, a new man.
Yeah, well, trying anyway.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you're looking to get involved in the chat and you can't, that's because you haven't subscribed. So you need to subscribe. And then in about, I think I've said it for 20 minutes today, you need to subscribe for 20 minutes. And then you can get involved in the chats. So this is the first podcast, Ken, I think we've done since Joe Edwards has been in charge.
Yeah, I think we've just been super busy. And we had Christmas.
True.
New Year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
How was all that for you, all right?
Yeah, good. Lovely Christmas. Great Christmas. Great New Year. And then other than my gearbox going last week, all good.
You're a bit like me. That's all right, all that stuff, but you just like the everyday grind. You just want it all out of the way now. We'll go back to normal, get on with it.
I just want to go work. Yeah, honestly, after Christmas Day and Boxing Day, I'll take the dog for a walk 20 times a day just to get out of the house.
Your dog's fitter than you. Your dog's pressing you on the treadmill. How you doing, everyone? Kevin S, hello. Ollie, good evening. Connor Parsfield, Millwall Chew, Millwall KP. A couple of Millwall legends in the group tonight. There he is. There's the other one. Right, so we've got a lot to talk about. Of course, we've signed our player, Joe Edwards' first signing as a manager. Our first signing in the January transfer window is on loan, which we will get to about halfway in. Obviously, because we've not been on for a long time, we've all been doing our individual videos. The thing is, the group chat's been as strong as ever. And I'll sometimes put, it'd be great if we could transfer this into a podcast. But this is it. This is our time. So, Joe Edwards, Ken, is he the man for the job? You was like me. I think you wanted him in.
Yeah.
Has it been for you, the opening couple of months now, isn't it?
I think I definitely wanted him in. I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was worth a risk. And I think we said right at the beginning, look, it's either a risk that's going to take us to new heights in the end, or it's going to be a risk that's going to plummet us down to League One. But with our type of club, that's something that we need to do. I wasn't impressed probably with the first 5-6 games. I think that probably one of the worst things that could have happened was us beating Sheffield Wednesday 4-0.
Yeah.
Because it just heightened everybody. Us as Millwall fans, we're a nightmare for it. You know, we go and beat bottom of the table 4-0, and then we're going to win the World Cup. You know, it was bad. So I think that he sort of kept the team Rowett-esque for the first 5-6 games, which meant we carried on getting Rowett-esque results, Rowett-esque performances. And slowly but surely, what he's trying to implement into the team with the players that we've got has actually been extraordinary, in my opinion. And look, I don't expect any magic this season, but I think that going forward, I think we could be a force to be reckoned with. I really do.
Well, I'm excited now, not just because what he's done, but also the transfer window and the start he's had to that. And I think, like I said, my mate said this to me. He went, I think he's got the job because he's a good young prospect, but I also think he's got the job when he's gone to his interview. He's probably gone, look, I've got these. Like, what else can you bring to the table? And he's gone, look, fucking Chelsea ties, Everton ties. I've fucking coached England youth set-ups all the way through, and this is where Tanganga's come from. Do you know what I mean? Through his connection with him and working with him at England youth levels.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. That is what basically is all he brought to the table, really. You know, his knowledge was, I wouldn't say his knowledge is limited, but his experience was limited. And everybody had to take a gamble. So, you know, I think someone like Joe Edwards, the character that he has, the type of person that he comes across as he is going to be somebody that's not going to take that for granted. And I think that he will work as hard and as tirelessly as he can to do the best job possible. One, for Millwall, because they gave him a chance, but also two, for his career in the future.
Well, I said when we got him, I said, after just listening to him, the things that he said, I know saying things is one thing and delivering on it is another. But just the things that he says, and I think I said like when he first come in, we're going to be lucky to keep him in the long term. And I stand by that, and I hope that's true. I might be getting ahead of myself, but I don't know. It's just the things he says, even like after the Middlesbrough game, which we'll get onto in a bit, he said that the interviewee from the club, Max, whatever his name is, can't remember his second name, Max McClellan said to him, you know, we've lost the game, but we're improving all the time. And he went, well, hang on, look, we should be improving all the time. That's, you know, don't give us credit for that. That if I'm working with these players every day, then we should be getting better with every game. He's not dressing things up. He's not shying away from responsibility. You know, even that shit run we went on after the Sheffield Wednesday game, he said, and it's a bold thing for him to do because he's a young manager in his first job. Going, well, look, it's the players. They're not doing what I'm seeing every day in training. And he put it on the players here. And for a manager with no experience at this level, or any level really as a manager, that was a bold move. But I could listen to him all day.
Yeah, I think he's a new age with an old head. You know, this is the way I coach football. Not that I've got any comparison to Joe Edwards, but there's not many coaches anymore that will turn around, look you in the eye, and point the finger and go, "That weren't good enough, and I need more from you." And not only just say it to you, say it to anybody else that wants to listen. You know, his performance was awful today. He didn't go and play by instructions, etc., etc. And you know, if you are that type of person, the players won't actually take it critically. They'll take it positively because they know your demeanour. And like I say, I think he's a new age, but with an old head on him, which could set us well.
So Stephen of Leeds, Lions TV Roy, I haven't seen you in the chat for a while, man. I've been getting worried about you. And Steve says he thinks he's been a breath of fresh air. Just listening to him speak is great. He's calm, clear, and concise. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. But I added it up today just before I come on air. And his record as a Mill manager, played 13, won 4, drawn 3, and lost 6. All right, we lost twice to Leicester, once in the league, once in the cup. 2 very tight games, both 3-2 scorelines. But in the last 2 games, we've conceded 6 goals. And that's when I'm thinking that seems weird. Because under Rout, I'd walk away and be drawn 0-0 and I'd be fuming, or I'd be like, this is just so boring. In the last 2 games, we've conceded 6 goals and the players have been clapped off twice. Yeah. So it just speaks volumes that what I'm thinking and what you're thinking and saying and everyone in the chat is clearly spreading across the fan base and everyone's on board with him.
Yeah, I think that I think it's again, we've been routed for so long that's what we do. We look at these statistics and go, in his last 13 games, he's lost 6 games. That's horrendous. But actually, us as supporters, especially this club as supporters, have gone, yeah, but you know what? We turned up on a Saturday. We were entertained. They worked their bollocks off. And, all right, granted, I know we lost, but I saw blood, sweat and tears on the pitch. They've come off knackered. And this is what we appreciate. We don't expect to beat every team every Saturday, but we expect to see a performance. That's in my opinion. And that's what they're giving us now. Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it isn't. I'd say that Leicester was a close game. We probably could have got something out of both of them games.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why we lost to Leicester. They're a league above the players they got, the budget where they've come from, and they were very clinical. I still can't work out how the fuck we lost to Middlesbrough. I mean, Cooper was talking before we went on there. If Cooper just buries that one from 4 yards, for me, that's game over. And it is fine margins, but even that Max McLennan said that to Joe Edwards, and he went, no, not having that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And could have gone, yeah, it is fine margins, but he's unlucky. But no, we need to make sure that there is no fine margins, and we finish the job. That's down to our performance on the pitch and taking our chances.
I think it is we'll probably get into that in a bit later, but that is exactly what it is at the moment. Is that we now, because we used to moan that we never used to create anything.
Yeah,
people used to go, well, if you feed the strikers, then they'll score, right? But now what we're doing is we are creating opportunities, but we're still not scoring.
No,
so
many opportunities as well. A lot of half chances against Borough, more than clear cut. Other than the Cooper one, we was all over them. Great possession, knocking the ball around as well. You said we're not expecting miracles, but I think we've got one. Jake Cooper can actually fucking pass the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you.
You don't agree with that?
No, I don't agree with it. I'll be honest, and I love Cooper. I really do. But when you look at that squad at the moment, if you're looking for footballers, like Jake Cooper is never going to be a footballer.
But don't you think he's playing out the back? I mean, we're even doing the short goal kicks now where the 2 centre-backs are pulling wide on the edge of the 6-yard box and splitting them. I just think we're knocking it around lovely. First half hour against Borough, I thought we were superb. I think Wes Arden was doing it. Wes Arden's a bit spaghetti legs. I don't really like he's in control of it, but I think he is, because you can't get away with that many times, luckily. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. On me personally, on Jake Cooper, I think that he is, given now the way that the Championship has evolved and the way that we play, I think he's completely out of his depth, Cooper. That's just my opinion, and I don't not like him, and I don't have a problem with him being in the side. However, I just think that the strikers and the 10s in teams now are way too good for what his ability allows. He was a good, solid up in the air, but I mean, he must have given away 10 penalties this season. They just haven't been given.
That makes a change. He's probably had nothing. And the amount of times I've been fouled and I've got a fucking penalty, I'm going to start having a bit of payback. But what you said there was actually spot on. This division has evolved, hasn't it? It's become like a little. It's become like fucking, if you order the Premier League off Wish, like it's a little wannabe. Let's all start trying. I suppose if you want to get into that division, you've got to play that way. So, but it has massively evolved. There is all this, big old school centre forwards with noses like this, and centre halves are elbowing, and it's really, really evolved. And all teams are out now, aren't they? Trying to play that way.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't beat them, you have to join them.
Yeah,
and Rowett tried to make us do that, but it was such a slow, tortoise-pace process that we was never going to get there. Whereas what Edwards has done is gone, fuck it, go, do it, right? Yeah. And we're gonna mess up a lot of times because we're catching up, but we're better off to grab the ball by the arms and just go for it. And it paid off.
He's been very, very brave in his approach, hasn't he? Jamie Choke, good evening, mate, and evening, Danny Kenny. Hope you're both well. Joe Edwards is definitely the right appointment and the right direction for the club. Rout was wrong. Never liked him one bit. Right. Okay, so let's move on to. Want to talk about before we get into the new signing, that will be coming next, everyone. Don't worry. I want to talk about the season so far, really, because we're halfway through. It's been a very different season, lots of chops and changes. It's been a Millwall season because there's never a dull moment. But I want to talk about a few players, and I just want to know what you think sort of been the best players of the season so far.
I think that putting Honeyman in the midfield has shown his qualities more. I know a lot of people wouldn't say this, but I really rate Saville. I really like Saville in the middle of the park. I think he's captain material, to be honest. And also, you're not going to like this, but I actually quite like Sarkic as well.
Okay, well, funnily enough, I've got who's been your best player so far, and then underneath I've got a list of players I just want to ask your opinions on. The first one on the list, of course, is match. Look, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm too fucking critical on goalkeepers. Yes, he had 4 clean sheets in a row. As Joe Edwards said, he hardly had a shot to save any of those. And there's been a couple of soft goals he's let in, but he's improving. And I love the way he got stuck into the 22-man brawl away at Bristol City in the last minute. He was the first one on the scene. So I don't want us to have shit keepers. I want us to have good keepers. But you're all for Sarkic, Ken. Yeah, look, that's good news. I want him to be decent. Trust me, I don't want him to be shit.
Look, Dan, me and you were both goalkeepers at all right levels. Not at that level, obviously, but I can guarantee you that me and you also let in soft goals as well. I think that after being at Wolves for however many years and not playing competitive football, playing for the under-23s or whatever he was doing, to then come into a championship side and playing in front of 12, 13,000 people. And I know you're going to say this is what he gets paid for, but I think he needed a bit of time to bed in. He then got injured, had to fight for his place back. And I think you're finding a little bit of complacency because, say, the last 5 games that he's played, I can't say that I've seen him make a mistake. I've actually seen him be quite assured in goal and make some important saves. And also, some of the saves that he made, Bart wouldn't have made. And what we do is we compare him with Bart a lot and love Bart to pieces. But Sarkic is by far a better goalkeeper than Bart. He comes out for the ball and crosses. He'll stretch himself out to score, to save, sorry. And also, he doesn't have 2 dodgy knees.
He's a very good age for a goalkeeper. Have you got some low-level wow music on in the background or something?
Sorry, mate. Oh, yeah, he's got the baby monitor on. Hang on. Evie has spa music on the fullest length.
Trevor, how you been, mate? Another one that's been in the wilderness. Evening, chaps, and Happy New Year. Passing is looking really positive. Who would have thought Cooper could pass to a blue shirt is now highlighting our finishing. I agree, Trev. I agree. Now, Kelly's all for Sarkic. I don't agree with some of his points because I do think there's a couple of soft goals he let in. Leicester in the cup, the second one, I think you should have said. But here's a player. Here's another one then. If I'm one way and you're the other, I think we may go the same way, but opposite ways, if that makes sense, on this next player. Brooke Norton-Cuffy. Now, am I right in suggesting you're not a massive fan of Norton-Cuffy?
I'm going to be really honest with you. I think he's a horrendous footballer. I really do. I think that he sort of wangles his way forward. Again, the last few games I've seen him, I definitely think he's got better. He seems to cut in more now and then try and find a pass. But the amount of times he does what I tell my kids not to, because he basically puts a ball through players and somehow it hits the defender and then hits his knee and then somehow he manages to nutmeg that player and get past him. And I also think he's a really bad defender.
I don't think he is. I think he came as a wing back. I said it for a long time. I don't think he is a defender. I think obviously we got told he was. Yeah. But he's won me over. I know what you sound about the way he falls through people, but it's a little bit like Harding when he keeps the ball and passes it. I don't think he can be lucky that many times. I just think it's the way he gets around people. And his final ball's been there. He put a good cross in for Bradshaw. The other the other day, didn't he? The other week. I'm just looking, sorry, at a few people's best players so far. Greeny Boy, Saville. Jamie Choate, best players, Norton Cuffy, Honeyman and Hutchinson when he's fit. Mill KP, Denor, Saville, BNC and Leonard. Rufus, hello mate, how are you? I hope your dad's well, hope he's getting better. Yeah. See, I don't know what you're saying about Norton Cuffy. It wasn't intended to be a massive debate. When you went back Sarkic, thought, wait, I'm sure you didn't like or didn't rate Norton Cuffy.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. If I see him in the squad, I haven't got a problem. It's not like, I think he's horrendous. It's just, it doesn't make sense what he does sometimes. And I think he's very lucky on the ball. However, he's got pace to burn. He can cross a ball. And
his crossing's definitely got better.
Yeah.
I thought he was terrible first when he first came.
Yeah. I think that he's become one of our only attacking threats width-wise.
I think if he's fit, he's like, yeah, sorry, mate. I think if he's fit, he's one of the first names on the team sheet in a minute.
Yeah, maybe.
Right, next player. I think we will agree, but I think last season we both would have said the complete opposite. Fleming. What is going on with Ian Fleming? Over the last couple of games, I felt that he improved, but only in small patches of games, not even for like a whole game. That fucking 15 million from Burnley and Lazio interest seems a fucking 100 years ago now.
I think with Fleming, I think that he turned up, worked his bollocks off for the first season, done really well, and I think he's got a bit comfortable. I'm massively surprised that we haven't tried somebody else in that 10 spot for a period, because although he does have a touch of class, Fleming, he goes missing way too much in games. And you could have Saville there, or you could have Honeyman there. Honeyman's always been a centre mid or a 10. Last 2 years we've been playing him as a right winger, but but again, he's somebody that I'm not too bothered about if you see him in the team sheet. But I just think he goes missing too much.
I think he's definitely not as good as he was. He's definitely off form and confidence-wise. But I think last year, what saved him a lot is that he might not always play well, but he pull out something fucking magical, and then you go, fucking hell, he's won us the game again. Then you sort of can overlook the other stuff then, can't you? I mean, one game, unbelievable game, which I were in that and you was the Preston away 4-2. That day, he was sensational for 90 minutes and scored hat-trick. But there's been other games where he scored one, maybe won us the game, not done a little else other than that, but you don't think about it. Then you just think, oh, Fleming's fucking got another goal. Do you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what winds me up the most is when he stands up to take a free kick. That's what winds me up the most, because this geezer deliberately takes five kicks at goal from like the halfway line in games, dribbles them into the middle of the goal, right? And he's apparently awesome at free kicks, but every single time the bloke has a shot from outside the area, bar one, which by the way was with his left foot, it goes miles. It's still with Harry Kane's ball.
Still travelling with a penalty against France. Alex, I love that. BNC is like a cross between Tony Dolby and Paul Ifill. I mean, I'm not saying Dolby was bad, but obviously, was he somewhere in between the pair? I'm not sure what you're saying there, really, mate. But I did like the Tony Dolby reference. A lot of people saying BNC's have been our best player. I do know what you're saying, Ken. I think recently he's been one of our best players, but let's say he's unorthodox. Let's say that. Another player that's very, very in and out is Duncan Watmore. Has a worldie one week, and then the next. I mean, the Middlesbrough game, he did everything right until he got into the penalty area, and then he taking too long on the ball, trying to switch it from foot to foot instead of getting a shot away. And I just find him. I'm sure people had people booing him the weekend. But then on other days, he'll win you the game as well, similar to Fleming. Maybe it's just consistency with our players throughout 90 minutes, though. That's the thing I've always said. It's not even game to game. It's within 90 minutes.
I think that, again, with Duncan Watmore, one, he's usually played out of position. He was always a left or a right winger. And as things evolve, obviously, positions have to change. And he plays more central now. And all Duncan Watmore is good for is getting the ball at his feet, looking down and running, getting us up the pitch with energy.
Yeah.
And the problem is now in this new position that he gets played, he finds himself in positions that he's not used to being in. And he can't pass that well and he can't shoot that well, but he can run and drive. And I would say that he's more of a player that would, you'd put on for the last 25 minutes for some energy. I probably wouldn't have him starting, to be honest. I don't mind him.
Yeah, no, he's decent, but in patches again. And I've just noted there what you said. The players you preferred for the season so far have been Saville, Honeyman. Who else is it?
Sarkic.
You like the sort of the stable fucking Millwall supposed type players, don't you? As opposed to these flair players. Maybe we just haven't got it right yet. So like Watmore now, with the involvement of tactics and the way we play, there is no. It's a little bit like Conor Mahoney. There isn't like Neil Harris signed playing a 4-4-2, didn't he?
Yeah.
As a winger to get balls in the box, but it's like we said, now it's changed. I mean,
yeah, but I think you could do that though because you had Matt Smith up front.
Yeah.
But at the moment, you've got Bradshaw, and I love Bradshaw, but he's 2 foot in a fag paper, and you can't put crosses in the box for Bradshaw unless they're at his shins.
We're talking there, right? If you think about it, like how different I think they are as players. Brooke Norton-Cuffy and Duncan Watmore are sort of playing the same position, but obviously opposite sides of the pitch. Like they seem like 2 completely different types of player, don't they? But they're both sort of playing that wing. That sort of wide striker role. But here's another player that's going to fit right into this bracket, and I can't make my mind up on him either. Ryan Longman. I mean, I thought he was brilliant against Middlesbrough. Without his final ball maybe being quite there at times. Obviously, he had an assist in the goal. But, maybe him not getting his final ball right is down to him not getting a lot of starts. But if he does start, usually he's terrible. If he comes on, he's fucking absolutely brilliant. Would you make a Longman? Of course, he's on loan from Hull. Would you consider signing him?
I think that he's a better Conor Mahoney. But again, this is what I talk about with evolving football. Again, he is someone that receives the ball down the line and crosses a ball in. And we haven't got anybody to attack that ball at the moment. Again, if you had someone like, I'm not saying we should have Matt Smith, by the way, but I'm just using him as a reference.
Well, he's got 15 goals there, according to Joe Turner so far.
Yeah, he's smashing it. Yeah, he's smashing it. Of course he is. I'm keeping an eye on him. But again, if you had someone, we need a big, ugly centre forward up front if we're going to play with someone like Bradshaw as well, if we're going to play as a 2. Because you've got Watmore that can chuck a ball in, you've got Cuffy that can chuck a ball in, Wallace can, Brian can, Longman can. All these players can deliver a ball, but we don't do it. Right? What we do is we pass it from that way to that way to that way to that way to that way and try and find an opening. Longman, he's a bit like who's that right back that we had? Was it Henry?
James Henry, one of right back.
Yeah, like I think Longman can stick a decent ball in.
Yeah, he can nick a yard and whip one in, can't he?
Yeah, and them sort of deliveries like that. But we haven't got anybody to attack him. So he's another pointless person to have in our team at the moment.
He was. I agree with Alex. He was unplayable in the first half against Borough. And he was just giving the ball to him. And he was putting some lovely balls in, but they weren't, like you say, they weren't right for Nisbet. Millwall KP can't stand him. League 2 standard. I hope you're not talking about Matt Smith because Kenny won't be happy. And I think he's talking about Ryan Longman. Steve, what you saying, mate? You said I like Longman. Needs a proper run in the team. Gives 100. He's a tiny footballer as well. And V. Thompson's agreeing with you. So if we had a big striker on the end of it, then we could.
Big little always works, Dan. Big little always works. Big little always works. You got 2 up top. Bradshaw never in a million years are going to.
No, and I agree. But the 2 up top, like we saying about the division and football's evolve, I don't think you'll you'll see that anymore, like the big lumps up front. And talking about Kevin Nisbet, of course, Bradshaw is out for at least a month. Big miss, as far as my thinking. I think that's Nisbet sort of proved that Saturday. Is that harsh from me? I see him get a lot of love at first. Now I'm seeing him get a bit of hate. I think Kevin Nisbet is a tidy footballer, right? He's got good feet. He can definitely finish. Two problems. I think he's off the pace in general of English football. I think he needs to maybe more time to get accustomed to the pace of English football. And two, like you just said, Ken, I don't think he's a striker that can play up front by himself. I think he's so much better with him playing off someone. But as you think Nisbet's been doing, he's sort of been, from what I've seen on social in the last couple of week or so, he's turned into a little bit of the new hate figure.
Well, I think this is after the argument in the WhatsApp group, isn't it? It's usually me versus the O'Maras on this. I know they rate Nisbet a lot. I don't rate him at all. And there's the big argument because I'd rather have Bradshaw up front rather than Nisbet. However, Nisbet has scored more goals than Bradshaw this season, only by one, I think. But for me, he is a good striker if he's got the ball at his feet and time. And one in a Millwall side, you very rarely get the ball at your feet, precisely. And in the Championship, you don't get a lot of time. And I think that he's been used to playing a slower paced game of football in Scotland. And I think that he has realised now that how competitive he is. I also think that his attitude's quite poor. That unfortunately, when you're watching it, it always seems to zoom in on him, having a go, moaning at people, getting the ump. To me, it just looks like his attitude's a bit poor, but we've got to go with him at the moment. But I wouldn't be surprised if we loaned him back to East Kildare or wherever he were.
Inverness, Caledonia.
Yeah.
East Kildare. I've seen a lot of Rangers fans talking about on Twitter saying he's not getting in their side. Go and get Kevin Nisbet. We'll have him. And we probably would do a job in Scotland, but see what people were saying. Michael Heisman, Nisbet doesn't work hard enough or stay inside long enough to be one up top. Steve Lees agrees with me, said he must have someone next to him, but we're not going to do that. Dave Turner said he needs a run. He has had his injury problems, hasn't he? And he's sort of now come back in for Bradshaw because Bradshaw's injured. But they're definitely not going to play together. Nisbet is shit. Never understood the hype for him. Scottish football, totally different to Championship football. So the goal tally he got is irrelevant. I'll see someone put on one of our videos. When are Millwall going to realise that everyone we signed ever from Scotland is shit and going to be shit other than Alex Ray? That's underwhelming, Adam. You're saying about a lot of people saying, we need a big man up top. Fergie Senior, he's from north of the border, how are you, mate? But I just don't think that we're ever going to play that way. I think it's always going to be the one striker now. People talk about Devante Cole from Barnsley. I said a long time ago when I think he was at Fleetwood, go and get Devante Cole. But we'll get on to transfer news, etc. in a bit. Joe Turner said he's lazy in this bit. I much prefer a phobia. I wasn't thinking about a phobia. That sounds weird. I saw a photo from someone who went to
Tom King.
Dubai.
Tom King.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it, yeah.
And he was with Benica Phobe, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, Benica Phobe's still playing.
Yeah.
Still scoring as well.
Yeah. Not surprising that level. Nisbet's got 5 goals and Brad Goat has got 4, yes. But don't forget, Nisbet started the season. Nisbet has started the season over Bradshaw. Bradshaw couldn't get in for a while. Then Nisbet got injured and Bradshaw came in. Then Bradshaw got injured. Nisbet went on like that. So, and don't forget, Bradshaw scored a lot when we've turned this corner under Edwards, playing the way we're playing. Saville put one in for him against QPR, which he scored, and then against Norwich, Brooknell and Covey put one in exactly the same, didn't he? And I think definitely in Edwards' mind, he's made that decision now that Bradshaw's going to be his number one choice if fit. Right, so that's all the players I wanted to ask you about, Ken. That's all. I think a lot of them, Sarkic, Norton Cuffey, Fleming, Watford, Longman, and Nisbet. I think they're all I'm not digging our team out because we're doing all right under the new manager. We like what's happening. So it's not like me saying, "Oh, let's all slag these players off." They divide opinion, and I think, from what me and you have conflicted on there, and from what people said in the comments, you can see that's true. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some people saying some things, and some people saying the opposite. Right, let's move on to the news that was confirmed today by the club. Japhet Tanganga. He's nearly 25 years old. He'll be 25 in March. Can play anywhere across the back line, centre back or right back. Has signed for Millwall until the end of the season from Tottenham Hotspur. Very, very exciting news that I've gathered the sense of from our fan base. Of course, I'm happy about it, but I will obviously throw a few spanners in the works later down the line. But Ken, Japhet Tanganga.
I was going to talk about actually the probably some of the spanners that you're going to throw in.
Okay.
And this is typical for our fan base. Is that, well, he's had an injury.
Yeah.
And the thing is I'm going to be honest with you. If he didn't have that injury, then 2 years ago he was going to go and sign for AC Milan.
That's fucking mad, isn't it? I think
Right.
how quickly things can change in football.
Do you know what I mean? So let's have it right about Tanganga. He's played, if my stats are right, he's played over 50 Premiership League games, and he's also played in the Champions League. Right, tore Sterling a new one, and tore Zaha a new one. Right, so if anyone don't think that he's worth a gamble,
Was that this game?
that's it. There you go. If anyone don't think that this geezer's a gamble just because he's had an injury, when we were happy to take Bart when he had a bad knee, we've taken Nisbet when he had a bad knee. We've taken a lot of players and gambled, and no one's mummed. Right, this guy is 25 years old. Obviously,
25 in March.
yeah. So from Tottenham Hotspur, they've cleared him to be able to play. So they've sent him out on loan. He hasn't got any games, but he was then cleared there to play. He's then come to Millwall, had a medical, and he's cleared to play. So we've got someone that was going to sign for AC Milan 2 years ago on loan. What's there to moan about?
No, there's nothing to moan about at all. You usually love a moan about something. You've gone the other way on this one. Been following him since the Spurs documentary, and I'm so excited about him. I've not seen that, but I've heard a lot of people mention it. He was actually on loan at Augsburg, in the Bundesliga, I believe that is. He didn't play any games whatsoever, so I don't know what happened over there. But they actually had an option to buy him at the end of the season. He's in the last year of his Spurs contract. He has got the option to extend that by a year himself. And I think Kieran was saying in the group, he's on a lot of money. Because Kieran said, I don't think, because when I said we're getting him, before he got said during the day, I said, apparently we're getting this guy signing. And Kieran said, I can't see, he's on too much dough unless we're paying half his wages. So it's definitely exciting. He's going to be looking to prove himself now and sort of kickstart his career. But another really important thing is that he said on Sky Sports earlier, but someone had already told me as well, that he sort of chose us over 2 or 3 other clubs. Now, when does that ever happen to us? It never happens. And Mill, 4th Gen, says if Rowett was still here, then we wouldn't have signed Tanganga. It's going to work well for us with Joe Edwards having all these contacts.
Yeah, I mean, if we still had Rowett in charge, he probably would have tried re-signing Glass ankles, wouldn't he? Or something like that.
Yeah.
Someone
he worked with previously, definitely. Although Joe Edwards has worked with Tanganga previously, I don't mind this one.
But yeah, this is the idea now, is that he's got some contacts that we're not going to expect to have the whole of the England under 21s or 23s, turning up at Millwall. But he knows what was coming in and out of that door, when he was there. He also probably had chats with the likes of Gareth Southgate and other people about the quality of young players coming through. So, it'd be more than likely he's got a list of 10 players on a sheet of paper, which he goes, do you know what? We couldn't buy these, but they'd be really good for us.
Yeah.
You know, and he's got the contacts to fulfill it, or at least try. But we said, you know, Rowett's talking to his ex-employees, and Joe Edwards is having a chat with Conte and Jose Mourinho and Pochettino. Do you know what I mean? That's the difference.
Mate. I think again, I missed the trick again. We're saying that, you know, he was at Chelsea, he was at Everton, but I think the key could be his England connections. He was part of the coaching staff that they won. I'm not sure what cup it was. He did say on the interview with the club because he was purring about it, and that's how he's always known Tanganga. But to be involved in an England setup, you say that's all, like you said, it's next level. And you've not just got Chelsea, you just got Everton. You're in contact. You've got a massive network there to work with, haven't you?
Definitely. Yeah. This is why I think that in time, Joe Edwards could be the real deal.
Well, he said one of them catch-22 ones again. You know, if he's brilliant for us, you know what the fuck's going to happen. He's going to go and sign elsewhere. But exciting to see him come in. Edwards was purring about it earlier, and I'll get onto I will mention the injuries because something's have got to have happened for him to be. I don't want to be negative, but if you're getting talks of maybe Romano, here we go, fucking Tanganga to AC Milan, and then 2 years later you're signing for Millwall. Something's got to have happened there along the lines of, I'm not saying he's got a bad attitude, but you know, that or injuries. So when you've been injured, it takes time to come back, doesn't it? Sometimes it takes time to readjust and get yourself back. But when he made his Spurs debut against Liverpool, there's people saying in that thing, look, Metin, said it there, look, last time I see him play, got sent off against Crystal Palace. 2 bad tackles. Yeah, that was that photo up earlier. Because when I posted in the group, you went, ain't that the bloke that had a right ding dong was the hard? I sent you that. I went, yeah, looks like it. Looks like he won as well. Yeah. I can't work out whether fucking he's 8 foot tall, Will Sahar's on his knees, or I don't know what's going on there.
I think he tackled him and he went to get up and he's pushed him back down.
So he'd definitely be a fucking hit again.
Yeah, he'll fit right in with us. No problems.
And then the big one that everyone's talking about is the opening game of the 2021 season for Spurs against Man City, and he got man of the match. And there's a whole montage of that on YouTube. It lasts about 4 minutes, and he fucking sticks Sterling up in the air. He looks unbelievable. I know Spurs fans are saying, someone was saying to me earlier that his mate's Spurs fan, and he went, like, no offence, I'm really surprised he's come to you. I thought he might go to a Nottingham Forest or a Luton. Do you know what I mean? Within his division. But I've obviously decided, Spurs, that that he's going to come to the Championship, and for him to choose us over 2 other 3 clubs is nice as well.
I suppose the only negative that you could probably throw at it is they'd rather have that Alfie Dorrington on the bench than Tangana. Tangana. You know, so why? The big question is why. You know, why did he not break through again? Is he another one of these players that can't play the way that we want to play? But is he a beast? You know, is he another Jake Cooper?
Well, he signed a 5-year deal and he's on a lot of money. Don't forget, he's 24. That Dorrington's 19. So I'm guessing they might be thinking, look, it ain't going to work out for him here. Let's try and get him out on loan with a view to buy from that Augsburg, and that could, like, you know, get a bit of money back on a fucking very long term investment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's a good question. Like you said, he's sorry. Someone just sent me the height of my kid, and I asked them for how tall he was, and it's just completely thrown me. I texted his stepdad and said, "How tall is he?" Because I want to take him to some like VR experience thing.
Yeah. He
was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Don't worry, I'm not sending him off in the post or anything." And I told him mine, and that was earlier today. And he just messaged me and said, "Fraser's 4'6". I was just like, "Well, I forgot what I asked him." But no, it's good. We can go to VR. Anyway, back to the show. Sorry, Steve Lee's 27 Premier League games, 8 FA Cup games, 8 European games, including the Champions League. Yeah, I mean, fucking hell, we'll take that all day long over. No disrespect to Alex Pearce or anyone like that, but signed for us previously in transfer windows. Jason Shackleton. Remember it? Is it Jason? No, Jason.
Jamie.
No, Jamie Shackleton, and the other one was called Jason Shackle, something. He was a centre back. And Neil Harris met him in King's Cross in the coffee bit, and someone took a photo. Neil Harris was fuming, apparently. Anyway, either of them put together. We'd rather have Tanganga. Mill Tube says, watched an interview of him a few years back. Seems a proper innocent guy, but he's a nutter on the pitch. Suits us well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to him being involved Saturday. Will he be involved Saturday? He's waiting on international clearance. He's English, of course, but he's Congolese. I won't kill you, don't worry. Well, I've got to say something now. So before the show, he was like, "Yeah, he's from Cosmo," and I went, "What? That Tanganga is from Cosmo." I said, "Cosmo? Where's that? Out of space?" He's Congolese.
I think there is a country called Cosmo. Didn't Jimmy Abdou play for them? Cosmo?
No, Comoros.
Ah, no, right, fair enough.
Steve Leeds, help us out, mate. Is there a country called Cosmo? Or does anyone else know? But I know Steve will. Toulon, that's it, Steve. The Toulon tournament they won together. That's right. Fucking hell, I've missed you. Anyone bringing a bit of sense to the stream? He's not even on the screen. Okay. This is what. So we're going to move on now to other transfer stuff. And you've led me on nicely there because Charlie Creswell is at the top of my list on the next page, which is our last page. 46 minutes. It's only two of us though. We're done, aren't we? Dragged it out for nearly an hour. I'm enjoying it. Glad to be back. Creswell. So does this mean, I didn't put this in the video last night, does this mean now that we're not in pursuit of Charlie Creswell? Now that got sparked, that fuel got fired by, that fire got fueled by, what's his name? Fucking hell, the geezer that Kieran, Alan Nixon. Yeah. And then it spread like wildfire. And, have we, haven't we? It turns out, coming from a Leeds journo, that we have bid for Charlie Creswell, along with a few other clubs, but we're not in the within their valuation so far. Surprise, surprise. Remember we bid for Josh Windass, and they wanted like 400 grand, and we offered him like 40 grand like a year for fucking
20 quid. Yeah, double.
Buy him like an house. Yeah, try to buy him like an house. Charlie Creswell. Does that mean that Creswell is now not coming to Millwall, or was he ever coming to Millwall? Well, we have bid for him, and Leeds have said he is available to buy, and he clearly wants out. So I don't know. Ken, would you still be keen to get Creswell in, regardless of Tanganga?
Yeah, definitely. I think that you have to look at someone like Creswell as a long term. Loads of people are saying we ain't got it. Well, listen, our owner is a multi-millionaire. If he wanted to smash out 4 mil, he could. Right? I'm sick of this budget crap that we always talk about. We've got one of the smallest budgets. We haven't got one of the smallest budgets. We spend the least. Right? Doesn't mean we've got one of the smallest budgets. Creswell, I think I saw somewhere else that you could buy him for probably about 2.5 and then pay the rest later. He's 21 years old, and when Leeds were in the Premiership, they said that he would be the next England captain. Right? Not saying that that's true, but what I'm saying is that he, at 21 years old, you could get 3 years out of him, and then potentially you could probably double your money, if not more. He's
a good player, yes, but also what you're saying is an investment.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that, again, this is just my opinion and my opinion only, as much as I love him. Hutchinson is going to play 3 games, play really well, and then be out with another injury. I don't think that Cooper's up to this new style of play. So we don't actually have that much at the back. And I think if you had, say, like Tanganga, imagine this, right? Norton Cuffy, Tanganga, Creswell, Bryan. Who's going to want to go up against that?
I don't think you'd see Norton Cuffy as a right back, but I like the sound of it.
Not really, no. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a young player in the right. Like 4 million. we're always saying we got no money. We're always saying, we have to. So let's get ahead. Let's get ahead of the game this time. Let's not buy someone for pittance and then sell them for pittance. Let's buy someone, spend a little bit more than we usually would, and then later down the line, hopefully, like you say, 4 or 5 years, we've had plenty of fucking game time out of them, and then we double our money. That's an investment. That's making money. It's not losing money.
Yeah,
it's looking at things long term, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think Cresswell's a perfect opportunity for that. It's a great investment. You'll get 3 good years out performance-wise. You know that. Is he better than Wes Harding, and is he better than Jake Cooper? I'd say yes.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, 100%. Different type of player. Leeds want 4 million. Have we made a bid? Yeah, I believe we have made a bid for Cresswell. I haven't got the graphic to hand, though. Chris Ayres loves us then debate. Do you know what I do as well? It's just getting everyone together on the same day. To be honest, today I was sitting indoors. I didn't have work today, and I'd filmed the preview yesterday, and I was just flicking through Twitter thinking, come on, give me some transfer news. And I nearly went with the Alan Campbell story, which I'll get onto later, and I thought, there's no point really until it happens. And I just put it in a group about 4 o'clock. Anyone fancy a den debate tonight? And Ken was like, yep, but we should try and do them weekly. So we got midweek games and people got work and family bits and bobs. Steve Lee seems to think that Cresswell won't come. We can't afford him and that Tanganga was the second choice. Break the bank and throw Fleming in as a sweetener. Are you drinking fizzy water?
Yeah.
You've changed. You posh prick. Don't say nothing. Right. Oh, it's a bit of an in-joke there, so I can't share it. Maybe one day. This was also very similar to the Cresswell incident, as I called it. Was the mistake was not getting Ballard. Should have done everything we could to get him at the time. Yeah, I mean, he's been brilliant for Sunderland. He had an absolute fucking stinker against Newcastle in the FA Cup. Did you see it?
No. I see that he'd scored an own goal, but
it was a great own goal as well. Caught on a volley, sweet as a nut. Past their keeper, we didn't even see it, and then he give away the penalty as well.
Yeah, I think that we should learn from things like the Ballard situation. Ballard again was really good for us.
Yeah, John Robertson as well. You're right, John. Like, look at Cooper, look at Hutchinson. Yeah, you get a centre back in. They're like centre back seems to last a long time at clubs, don't they? Don't know why that is. I suppose we get a good striker and he fucking scores loads of goals. Someone ends up buying him. Sunderland have come in for Cresswell. Metin says, I heard Blackburn went for him.
What ends up happening is Sunderland will have Cresswell and Ballard at the back.
That's probably. That'll make me sick. Blackburn were interested, but got no money, have they? They're struggling financially, and they're struggling in the league at the minute as well. Ipswich, I believe, also. I mean, look, it's good. This is the thing. Like when people said we're not getting Cresswell, well, he clearly enjoyed his time at the club. It's not a dodgy Twitter page. Leeds have said if you want him, he can leave the club. Leeds have said that, so it's not hearsay. He's going to go somewhere.
Yeah, and I bet you any money he's absolutely begging to be coming back to Millwall. I genuinely believe that. But, it's not that. If you asked him, I think...
Curtis Galloway, sparkling water is like pins and needles in your mouth. I couldn't work out what was wrong with it, but Curtis has just confirmed it. So come on, fizzy water, yes or no? Who likes it, who doesn't in the comments? You know what? It's fizzy water, but it tastes disgusting, but it's just water. So how can it taste disgusting? I think it just doesn't go in my head. I'm like, oh, water. Well, it's fizzy.
Yeah. You know what my problem is that I used to drink probably about 1.5 litres of fizzy drinks a day, right? And I like the fizz. So, but now I'm on this health thing that I've been on for the last couple of months. Drinking fizzy water helps me get that pins and needles in my mouth.
Well, I'm doing that in a minute I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm drinking alcohol weekend, but I used to booze every night. Not pisshead, but I'd have a couple of beers or a glass of wine every night, and I'm not doing that now. But I do have to have a treat. But I've ended up on like 5 of these today.
Yeah,
that's nothing, is it?
No, that's what I mean. But I can't believe you've gone and asked Millwall fans whether they like sparkling water or not. I'm going to get a load of grief now. I'm gonna see him at the next away game. They'll all be buying me sparkling waters.
Yeah, didn't someone buy you something because you said you liked it? What was it?
Yeah, was it Chris Brown? He brought me a sausage roll, bless him. But I think that was at Preston away.
Yeah. Do you like Rolex watches as well?
Rolex watches and just red notes.
Call of Duty, no, right? All right, that's right. You was right. It's a silly question, really. Hell no, right. No thanks. Yeah, that was a silly thing to ask them. Love the Aldi lemon fizz. Yes, decent that stuff. It's fucking cheap as well. Right.
I've got a pineapple crush.
No, I have tried that one. This is just lemon. It's like a cheap lemon Fanta.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
we've got to this.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got it now. Oh, that's 1-1. That's your equaliser. Right. So we got like little personal life, private jokes, which we can't discuss the content of. Not to incriminate either of us, but it's just, yeah. Right, anyway, moving on. Who we're looking at now? Can't believe we left 2 of them Caribbean crushed there and all. Right. Oh, okay. So talking about other transfers, rumours, players that could be coming in or out. Today, Joe Edwards come out and said this after we signed Tanganga to Richard Cowley, of course, the Messiah. Edwards said that he is delighted with the signing of Tanganga, but added, I certainly don't want him to be the only one. Adds that a number 9 is the most in-demand position to recruit for when asked about frontline additions. It's another thing I like about Joe Edwards. I think he sees what the rest of us see. Sometimes I just think, what is Rowett looking at? Or why is he going after that type of player? Like, we clearly need a striker.
Yeah.
And there is confirmed Joe Edwards has said, in effect, there to Richard Cowley, make it a lot fucking easier to read than I read it. We're not done yet in the transfer window. I don't want Tanganga to be the only one in, and we're going to focus on getting in another number 9. Not a 10. Oh, yeah, not Matt Smith?
I mean, like, I used to love Matt Smith, and I honestly think that we could have utilised him a lot more when we had him. Sorry. But the same with same that I do with Ryan Leonard now writing our squad. But we do need, I don't know, like Rowett used to say, like maybe we could go in for Juki, or
yeah, Djukovic. You always just go, yeah, Juki's a good pro and all that.
Yeah, just someone big, bold, can get their head on the ball, can hold the ball up, can bully. Because the problem is I really like Bradshaw, right? But you can't rely on Bradshaw to be our 25 goal a season striker, right? He'll score goals and he'll put a shift in. That's exactly what we want from him. However, no strikers that we have in our squad can be a 25 goal a season striker. Now, what we can have is we could have 2 up top and get 25, 30 goals between them.
Well, that's what happened last year with Fleming and Bradshaw, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because of Fleming, just quickly as well about Bradshaw, he put such a shift in that I don't think you couldn't do that twice a week. He'd end up getting injured or, as he is now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fucking lot of work for one man to do.
Yeah, he works tirelessly. He's a better Gregory, in my opinion. But unfortunately, Gregory scored loads of goals because he had a Steve Morrison next to him. And I think that's what we're missing. We are missing just that. Nisbet, for me, I couldn't care less if he don't play another game for Millwall. I don't think he's the answer. I'd like to be proven wrong.
Well, again, yeah, we both love to eat our words, and we've been wrong before and say, yeah, we was wrong about Nisbet. But when the thing is, I don't think we're ever going to play 2 up front. But to be interested in mixing it up as well. Is a name, Stephen Ball. Good evening, mate. Hope you're well. Kiefer Moy, for me, he's the most likened player I can think of to, like, as you say, Matt Smith. Bit of an old school-ish centre forward that, as we said earlier, don't really sort of. He's a dying breed, shall we say?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. He's not getting in at Bournemouth, is he?
No.
And I think but the problem is the minute that we go for someone like Kiefer Moore, all of a sudden Cardiff apparently want him back, and then he's always going to go to Cardiff.
Well, wasn't we going to get him in the last window? He was coming for talks, and then Bournemouth were going to buy a player. That player fell through, and then we couldn't end up getting Kiefer Moore. But apparently he was going to talk to us, but Cardiff then come in at the last minute, and he obviously would have gone back there being Welsh and having previously played for Cardiff, I'm going to say.
Yeah, he has played. Yeah, he did play for Cardiff.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I wouldn't say no, Steve, to Kiefer Moore. Definitely not. I think in the here and now, in this window, I think Joe Edwards is going to follow similar suit to what he's just done with Tanganga. And I think he'll go out and loan a young Premier League striker that he's worked with before at England level. That's what I think he'll probably do. I don't think we'll splash money here and now. People are saying Devante Cole. I said a long time ago we should have signed Cole, so he can't be that young anymore. People were saying the fella from Notts County.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think people are going to be queuing up for those types of players. I mean, if you said to me who would I want right here, right now, I'd go out and say buy Whittaker from Plymouth. But he's going to be going to the Premier League. He's only young. He's scoring shitloads of goals for them. So I think in the here and now, I might be wrong, but that's my opinion. I think he'll go, right, got one Premier League loanee. I'm going to go and get a second striker now, one that I know. And I think that's probably what he will do. But it's good to see that someone's going to be coming in.
I think the only problem that you have with getting a striker in is where does that leave Maku?
Yeah. Evening, Joseph.
Evening, Joe.
Joe couldn't join us tonight. I did leave it late. Jump on the next one, Joe. Yeah. Well, this is the thing with Maku. I don't think that Joe Edwards sees him as a striker, right? I think he sees him not as a central number 9. I think he sees him as more one of these in a fucking Norton Cuffy or a Watmore bracket, a wide striker. I'm not overly keen on this wide striker position. I know you're very old school. You like 4-4-2, 2 strikers and wingers get your crosses here, but it's just the way everyone's going. But I don't know. Look, I think it makes you less of a threat. But Maku, I mean, he's not really been getting a massive opportunity at the minute anyway, has he?
No, but I think this is where we fall short then, you know. And I'm not saying that he would have been the answer or he was the answer at all. But Vogelslammer was an out-and-out number 9.
Yeah. Never played there once, did he?
Didn't play there once. And I think I don't know, actually. I think maybe Norwich away he might have come on right at the end, played like 10 minutes. He hit the crossbar and all that sort of stuff. He was, you know, quite electric. But we play these players on the right. We play these strikers on the wings effectively.
Yeah.
And we're not getting the best out. Amaku's a striker. He ain't a winger.
But he started against Preston up front. I thought he was fucking brilliant. And then never really played there again since.
Yeah.
And again, he gets thrown on here and there. It'd be very interesting to see, actually, if he was fit right now, because obviously he dislocated his shoulder. What are they doing in training? They're fucking doing
MMA, like... looks of it.
MMA, I was going to say, what's the thing, like the mad fitness thing that everyone goes and does? We go through all the fucking ropes and Tough Mudder. They're all doing Tough Mudder at fucking training or something.
Well, I've done one of them. Wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I've done the Southampton one, the big boy.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. We're back in training now on that treadmill. Steve Lees won't Keith Moore, don't really rate him. KP's just buzzing Joe O'Mara's ear. Joe O'Mara, as we know very well, would love to see Kiefer Moore back. Joe and Connor met him in a bar, bumps into him one night, and that story never gets old. 4th January.
He'll chuck that photo back in the WhatsApp group for the millionth time.
Put it in, Joe, for old time's sake. But yeah, Kate, there's a bit of love, bit of mutual love. Steve's still in hospital. Get well soon, mate. Longstaff, that's the one from Notts County. But look, it's going to happen, and in my opinion, I think that's what we'll do. I think we will go for another Premier League young striker, loanee, to fill the void. Funnily enough, not another Troy Parrott. I Googled him the other day. Why did I Google? Oh, no. I know. So I tell you why I Googled him. Who saw that photo where it said, we always do good business with Spurs, other than you, blah, 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 and you, an Archer, and it's Archer. Troy Parrott's out somewhere abroad, and he's scoring a few goals. Devante Cole, thank you, Mitten, is 28. Joe just put the picture in. What's that group?
Has he put it in? Yeah.
Yeah. Here it is. Joe, Kiefer Moore, and Connor in the Lions TV WhatsApp group. I'm sure nothing else pops up on that screen. Devante Cole's 28. Yes, kicking on a bit, isn't he? Right, of course, I would love Sammy Smodic. I would love Sammy Smodic at Millwall. He's a Championship's top scorer, but I don't think he's going to be coming to Millwall. If anything, he's going to be going higher, and he's 28 as well.
Yeah, he's a great player.
Mate, when he's at Bristol City, he's messaging going, get me to Millwall, get me to Millwall. I won't play me here.
Where was he before that? Peterborough.
Started at Colchester. That's when I met him. Colchester. And you know, when I was tour manager for Chris and Kem.
Yeah.
Well, he was mates with Kem, just because they're both from the same area. So he would come out and I would come out, and then we just got mates through that. And then he went to Bristol City for £1 million from Colchester. Never played him once. Then they sold him to Peterborough. And then he kicked on, done really well for Peterborough. Then he went to Blackburn. Now he's like their fucking best player. Yeah, Steve's saying about the formation as well. But I think it's just going to be one up front forever from now on.
I've just seen in one of the comments, he's gone now, but Stephen Ball said he's in hospital. So I hope you recover quickly, mate.
Yeah.
With whatever's wrong with you.
Did I see Dan Marsh in there as well? The real Dan Marsh, the fake Dan Marsh. Right. Other transfer news. Okay. This comes from Dan Marsh, the journal Dan Marsh. Luton Town are looking in potential destinations for Alan Campbell. The 25, I didn't realise he was that young. The 25-year-old midfielder, season-long loan at Mill, could be cut short if another move can be sorted. Unlikely to be movement until Mill strengthen themselves. I don't get what that means, because we've got 4 fit central midfielders without him. Yeah. Mitchell, Honeyman, Saville, Denor. And Leonard can play there if absolutely need be. Well, that's probably his best position, but no one likes to play him there. So I don't understand that we're holding up Alan Campbell leaving to one 5th centre midfielder. But he's been, for me, one of the biggest fucking letdowns of a signing in recent times. Gutted when we didn't get him originally from Motherwell when he went to Luton. Then buzzing on transfer deadline day when he joined at the same time as Ryan Longman. And he's just been fucking non-existent, mate, hasn't he?
I think that what Millwall should do is let him go back to Luton, but don't announce it and wonder when anyone's going to realise that he's gone. Like, you wouldn't, would you? Like, it would take 6 months and you go, hey, we got Alan Campbell in the side. Like,
yeah, no, it's true. It's just like,
as Millwall fans, we going, fucking hell, if we had Campbell on, we would have done all right.
I know. Yeah, no. He's been such a fucking, I'm not angry, I'm disappointed. Because I really thought where's he going to go now? He's come to Millwall, can't get in. I ain't even kind of get in the squad now. I did hear that he don't really interact with anyone. He gets on the coach, away game, sits at the front, puts his headphones on, don't talk to any of them. Don't have anything to do with anyone at training, don't have a laugh or a joke. So he obviously don't really want to be there, does he?
Yeah.
Where's he going to go from here? Where he'll probably go? He'll fucking probably go back to Motherwell and get Scottish Player of the fucking Year. Yeah, and that's very true. But I agree with that. We never needed him in the fucking first place.
No, we didn't.
I mean, in hindsight, we never needed him in the first place. When we got him, we was all going, fucking hell, this could be... But he was one of Gary Rowett's less successful signings. You said the same. You're going to drive Campbell to Luton right now. Don't have a licence, don't have a car. Did you say car? What did I say? Oh, don't have a licence, don't give a shit. Oh, dear. Steve Lee. Yeah, he has been poor, Steve. He has been poor. But he's not a bad player, just not fitted in. But when he has played, he's one of them. He's like another fucking Ryan Tunnicliffe. You don't know he's fucking out there.
Yeah, agree. I don't remember any specific pass, any specific type of play, tackle, shot.
He was. I'll tell you one thing I can remember. He was involved in Zian Fleming's goal away at Preston. He didn't directly set it up, but he was involved and then got it through to Denor, and then Denor put it to Fleming. Other than that, I think the last time he played did he play away at Cardiff? I think he played away at Cardiff. Didn't know he was on the pitch.
Horrendous player.
Right, so he's on the way out by the look of it. He's got 2 assists this season. Tunnicliffe. Campbell end. Right. Now, before we finish, other youngsters at the club. One has gone out. His name is Nino. That's what everyone just calls him at the club, Nino. Nido Adam Malaki. That's what you can see why. Gone out on loan to link up with ex-Mill legend Steve Morrison. He's Morrison's first signing at Sutton United. Harry Smith and Aidan O'Brien also play for Sutton United. Harry Smith's currently banned, shot for mouthing off an official. Good player, Nino. Like him a lot. Gets on the bench a lot, on the fringes. I would assume that us signing Joe Bryan maybe put pace to him getting his opportunity this year. And Murray Wallace, sort of, I'd say, mini revival, Murray Wallace. But yeah, good for him, Ken. But I was thinking, we've got some other youngsters I've not heard anything about for ages. Tom Lee for one, Seb Droz for another. We have got a few out on loan. I think Abdul Malik and someone else who just come back from somewhere else. No, what's it? You got no fans? What's his team? Wellstone, that's what they was.
Yeah.
But here's a player that's a young player at the club, not getting a sniff in the first team. Romain Esse, cue the meltdown in the comments section. Would it be worth sticking Esse out? Are we doing him a disjustice not playing him? Of course, that's him celebrating the opening day of the season when he come off the bench and scored the winner, assisted by Aidemo Amaku. What are you saying, Ken, about Romain Esse? Because there's lots of interest in this and difference in opinions.
I think that when he first started playing for us, you 100% would question why he wasn't in the squad. If he weren't in the squad, you'd be like, well, why aren't he playing? However, what I will say is the last couple of times I've seen him come on the pitch, he looks awful. And he looks about a foot taller.
I don't disagree with anything you said. I just love the way you just come out and cutthroat say it's brilliant. And why has he got so tall?
I don't know.
He's only young, so he's probably still growing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's 8 foot when he come on the other day.
I know. And the problem is he's had his hair braided, so he should look shorter.
But like he's getting taller, but he's not filling out. It's like he's nicking it from here and just stretching it.
Yeah.
So he's getting taller, but he's like getting skinnier.
Yeah, I just don't think that, I don't know. I think Esse from maybe 2-3 months ago, you'd argue, why is he not getting in the team? And you can also argue that, well, he hasn't had any game time. How do you expect him to look good after playing 10 minutes? But
yeah, true.
He was coming on for 10 minutes 2-3 months ago and looking good. So I would say if you're not going to have him in your squad and he's not going to be useful, because to Joe Edwards, he's obviously not useful in a 90-minute game to him. That's clearly obvious. But he is a talent. So what we need to do is we need to give him game time, let him progress. Would he be okay to go down to League One, or is he too good for League One?
No.
If he's too good, then does he go to a Championship side?
Because we ain't going to loan him to a Championship side. I think, and I said this a long time ago, I think that maybe not long term, but for the here and now, Amaku will come to the forefront massively in front of Esse. And some people said I was mad, and once again, I was proved right. But anyway, I think Romain Esse, as much as a talent as he is, from what we've seen, highlights of him playing for England, When he first come into our team, he looked really good in patches. I think our fan base has massively remembered something that hasn't happened with him, because I don't think he's anywhere near as good as everyone seems to think he is. For the only reason I'll say that is he's never fucking played.
Mm.
I'm not saying he can't be that good or he isn't a brilliant talent. He has never, ever played. He's hardly ever played for us.
Yeah.
He missed out the 21s. Fair enough. That's good for him. Well done to get straight into the first team. And he made a couple of cameos as a sub, run down the wing, took on 3 players and fell over, or run down the wing, took on 3 players and crossed it over the stand. I'm not saying he's not a talent or he's going to be a great player, but what it is with Joe Edwards, because he had the England stuff, everyone's going, SA's going to play every week. And he hasn't played. Everyone's going, why isn't SA playing? I can't, because SA's never played. That's why SA isn't playing, because he's never played for us. I think people are misremembering it, but I do think he would benefit from a loan massively.
Yeah,
you've got to do something. You can't let fucking Abdul Malik, Adam Malaki, George Walker, who's come back now. What's the big centre-half called who went to Bromley? Chinakole. You can't let all these players go out because they're too good, not good enough for the first team. Yeah. But you can't keep SA because he's too good for the 21s, but not quite good enough for the first team. But then we don't want to lose him, and he's just going to do nothing. And that's probably why has gone a little bit backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When he first joined, he first started getting the first team. He was a breath of fresh air. He's definitely gone backwards, and that's to be, like you said, it's understandable. He's not played the ball, has he?
I think that maybe if he went, maybe going to Sutton with Morrison.
Steve just said he'll take him as well.
Yeah, I think someone else just put as well, take him to Cambridge with Harris. Let someone give him 90 minutes a game, let him progress. If he's on loan and he's absolutely smashing it, you can call him back anyway. So,
Yeah, I think he's better than that, Michael. But on the subject, Tyler Bury signed for Oxford, didn't he? Went out to Sweden for a bit, or wherever he was.
Yeah, done nothing. Sat on the bench for 6 months. He's done.
This is a good point, as Steve said. It happened just a couple of years ago. We got every year we either in and around the playoffs or we're fighting relegation. We're not, 14th with 10 games to go. Can't go up, can't go down. That did happen a couple of years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. I think, can't remember. And then you can give these players a run. But I think with SA, as a fan base, I mean, I not really me. I get football, and if he's not good enough, he don't get in, so you sit on the bench. But I do think that our fan base might be getting a bit pissed off that, all right, if he's not playing, he's not playing, but you need to look after it. And you need to have a plan for him. If he's going to be this big talent, then you need to say, look, we think he'd benefit from a loan. We're sending him out with Steve Morrison the rest of the season. People go, fucking great.
Yeah.
But he's probably one of the very few that if he doesn't play, people don't really care. But if he doesn't play, people are going, what is going on with SA? I think it'd benefit them to give a little bit of a fucking update, do you know what I mean? And have a little plan for him.
That's where they probably are going wrong. It's the communication, isn't it? But then that's always been limited. Communication to our fan base has always been limited. And probably because half the time they can't make their own fucking minds up to be able to tell us what's going on.
Liam Buxton, I thought I weren't scrolling down the questions, but you've asked it about 15 times. So I don't know, mate. Well, it's going to be a striker, I would have thought, and I'm going for a young Premier League loanee.
My brother's in the chat.
Oh yeah, young Premier League striker. I just snotted in. What more could you wish for? Maybe a treadmill at the end of your garden. Who knows, Sully?
He's given up and he's retired now.
Is he retired finally, is he?
Yeah, he's retired, yeah.
Tonbridge legend. I know it's Tunbridge. I always say Tonbridge because it's Tunbridge Wells and Tonbridge. Yeah, maybe not doing anything in training. I mean, for me, it's not really a massive issue, but I can see it's fucking bugging other people. And they ain't got to tell us. They're just going to go, we'll soon know when we see that he signed for fucking Sutton and he's standing like this with Steve Morrison. They go, oh, right, we sent him out alone for the rest of the year. You don't have to be like feed us like some secret information. I'm all over the place. What's happened here? Lost the
I
comments.
think as well. You know, that's the best thing to do with someone like SA. Don't mess about. 1st of January or whenever it was that we started this, you know, should have had something in place for him. Get him out, right? Because he would have been forgotten about by now.
Yeah. Now it's just like dragging out and making it an issue. But I mean, a lot of people are saying, nah, I know what it is. SA's going for 10 million. That's what it is. Fuck me, that would be the greatest business in the world if we managed to sell a player for 10 million that's never fucking really played for us. Harry Moore, how do you know the inside information? Never reveal my sources, mate. It'll get me in all sorts of trouble. But Joe Edwards told me. So, but don't say I said. Right.
I've got him sat in the living room at the moment.
What's that?
He's just sat in the living room at the moment.
No, I wouldn't, Steve. I wouldn't play SA. I don't think SA is anywhere near as good as people think he is. Or he hasn't done enough in our first team for people to be asking the question, why isn't he playing? I'm not saying he's not a good player. I'm not saying he isn't a good talent and a hot prospect. I don't think he should be in our first team, no.
Do you know what the problem is, Dan? Is that we played Rowett ball for nearly 5 years or whatever it felt like an eternity, right? We watched the same monotonous, boring football for years, and you get a youngster come in because I think SA came in before Amaku, didn't he? So you get a youngster in, and everyone goes, "Fucking hell, we should be looking at the youth all the time." What else is coming through? SA's unbelievable. And what happens is, and then you go back to watching the same monotonous football. It hasn't necessarily happened under Edwards until we started losing. When we started losing, then what happens is people trying to find blame, right? And the easiest thing to do is to blame something that hasn't happened. So why haven't we played SA in that game? Because if we played SA, we wouldn't have lost 3-2 to Leicester.
Yeah.
How do you know? Like, how do you know? Right, he would have played shit, and then what you would have done is you would have gone, why did you start SA over Honeyman? That's the wrong time to play the youngsters. You can't win.
No, it's very, very true. Who would I like the number 9 to be? Morgan Whittaker. I'd go and get his name, Morgan Whittaker, from Plymouth, but we're not going to get him. He's going to go to the Premier League. I would have had Scott Twine as well, but he went to Bristol City. But all these players, Smodic, they're not realistic for us. Oh, Stephen, sorry, I didn't see that. Thank you very much for your kind donation, as always. Last thoughts, Ken, Saturday.
Saturday.
QPR away, this Saturday. What do you think? What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think we'll smash them. I think there's a new ethos around the team. I think that genuinely, if you're going to show how Millwall you are, somewhere like QPR is one of the best places to do it. It's going to be a big following. We're going to be loud. And I think they're really going to turn up. I really do think they're going to turn up big time on Saturday. And it could be the kickstart, although we've already had it, but I think it could be the kickstart of us starting to pedal up the table a little bit.
Score prediction?
I'm going to go for a 3-1.
Have you watched my preview show?
No.
Why?
No.
I went 3-1. I went 3-1. I'm joking. I only put it about an hour ago. I went 3-1, as well.
Yeah, 3-1.
I like what you said. If you're going to show, be very Millwall's place to do it, with a big following.
Yeah. I think so. And I don't know who we got after that, but I think that
Hull away, innit?
Yeah, we'll smash them and all.
You sound like fucking prime 8 days from Lions TV. Yeah, we'll smash them all. I'm going to go up, probably start at Hull. Henry's never done Hull, so I'm going to probably go and start up there.
Yeah, I've only done Hull.
We should maybe look at that. We both said 3-1. If you haven't watched my preview, by the way, that's just ruined it for you. But yeah, I think 3-1. Maybe that's worth a punt.
Yeah, I'm having
Preston at home first. That's Henry's birthday, and the day after is my birthday.
Nice. When's your birthday?
My birthday is next Sunday. What'd she say?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought that was my cousin saying. Thought she said she got me a massive present. Yeah, 44 next Sunday. Okay, now. But yeah, there you go. Right, yeah, Preston home and then Hull away. Yeah, brilliant. All right. Okay then. Chazzo Luke, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday, mate. What's it? Oh, you're counting Tanganga as your gift, eh? Why not? Might have to give him back though in fucking May. Let's hope not. Right. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for the comments. Kenny, thanks for joining us, mate. Please subscribe to Lions TV.
Come on, you Lions.